through some of the details here as well. I'll try and keep an eye on chat at the same time, everyone. What's up, IU1? What's up, Sol? And all. Okay, so I mean, I'm looking at the playoff brackets at the moment, but I'm going to scroll up because obviously the groups, there were so many things that were going on. I guess the main thing I noticed is the amount of Americans that there were in the groups, and then the amount of Americans that there were in the playoffs.
Out of the 16 European people that we had, I mean, 14 was it?
Was it 16?
We had 12 qualified, and then 2 more that went there. It was Evil and Sparty that went there. Oh, okay. Out of the 14 European players, 12 made it out of the groups.
13. Oh, no, you're right, 12, because the only people who didn't were Victil and Evil.
And Evil, yeah.
So everybody else made it into top 16. Then we had an Australian.
Yep.
And 2 Americans and 1 Canadian.
Yeah. I can't say that's actually surprising at all.
Now, to note that all 4 of those last people, though, did actually qualify through the North American qualifiers. Because obviously there were a load of other Australians. There was a pretty frustrating bracket, you could say, for the Australians, because Fraze and Astro Boy were put in the same bracket, the same group, sorry. And Astro Boy came out on top. But Astro Boy, he went out in the first round of the playoffs. Gelasak went out in the first round of the playoffs. And Dahang and Rafa, well, Dahang went to top 4, which was, I'd say, almost an overachievement to some extent, which sounds pretty unfair, but he was playing absolutely sick in Sacrifice. But I think Dahang and Rafa was probably nice for both of them because it guaranteed one of them in the quarters. IMHO. But I felt a little more dominance from the Euros, just in the way that they were playing as well. But obviously I'm biased, and I'm sure any Americans listening are probably like, fuck you, Zoom.
I mean, it's true, just because for the last 3 years, we are the only ones that have been active because we have tournaments and we have stuff going on in our scene. So, the Europeans are always going to have an edge.
I think Rafa, might be expected a bit more from him to some extent. But actually, I saw him in top 8. I removed him from my top 4 prediction and put him in top 8. And that's actually where he put. The thing is, like, let me see if I can find the document that I have that shows what my top 8 prediction was. And see how wrong I eventually was. All right, I found it. All right, so my top 8 prediction was... have I got anything that's post-Cypher not going in? I've got your top 8 without Cypher. I don't have mine. So mine was Cypher, obviously, no. Avec, did he get top? He got top 8?
Yes, he got top 8.
Tick. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Rafa.
1, 2.
Tick, yeah. Cooler, tick.
3.
Vu, tick.
4.
Nice. All right. That's good, actually. We're at like 50% at least. Strengths. No tick.
Still 4.
X. Noctis. Tick.
Yeah.
5.
5.
And Garpy I had.
Okay, no.
I put in, and I think this was even before regionals I made those predictions, actually. So 5 out of 8 pre-regional predictions. I'm okay with that. And my top 4 was Cypher, rip. Avec, rip. Vu, yes. And Rafa, no. Right, what was your top 8?
You tell me.
Okay.
You have it there.
All right. So I don't know when you made this. Maybe at a similar time. Yours was Cypher, boo, X. Rafa, tick.
Okay, 1.
Cooler, tick.
2.
Tox, no tick.
Damn it.
Garpy, no tick.
Nope.
Strengths, no tick.
No.
Avec and Vu. So you get 4 of 8.
4. I got 4. Well, I didn't put Claus in the top 8. Wow.
No, you didn't. Maybe our predictions when we got much
I have another
closer.
top 8 in here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I think our predictions, like right next to the tournament, may have been very different, but this was like very, very early predictions.
Yeah, because I have another prediction in here of mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, my top 8 is like Avec without Cypher already. It's Avec, Rafa, Cooler, Strengths, Klaus, Kilson, Zron, and Tox.
Yeah, Zron. Yeah, Zron did make.
I put Strengths, Kilson, and Tox, which didn't get there. The rest, I got the other 5 right. But this is obviously after regionals and after knowing that Cypher isn't going to make it.
Yeah. I don't know if I had one like that. If I did, then I don't know where it is. We can talk about the players a bit. I mean, in terms of Tox, he made it through groups, but he lost to Razy.
Cooler.
So, but Tox lost to Razy in his group.
Tox lost to Razy in group, yeah. That was the first game that we streamed of the whole tournament, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah, it was on. Not the whole. Well, excluding sacrifice. So duel only. Yes.
Yeah.
That actually made Razy play versus. Basically, it's a lose-lose situation. That group, whether you're first or second, you go against either Cooler or Rafa. I mean,
it was really hard for both Toxic and Razy.
What?
A really unlucky draw, I gotta say.
Oh, is that my top 8 there, Ehan? I'm gonna have a look.
I have another top 8 on my Facebook page. I'm gonna check what's there.
Or is it not? I don't know if that's my top 8 or not. Sorry. So to say with Razy, by the way, I think we can very easily point him out as being an incredibly good up-and-coming player that people need to watch out for. 0-4 had him in the finals, actually, as a prediction.
Nice.
And he was 7 seconds away from beating Rafa 2-0.
Oh, if he just leaned left.
Wow. Just got off the bridge.
Yes, he just stood on the bridge and he died.
He hesitated. You could see the mouse flicker and the movement judder, and he just didn't move.
I shouted in real life when he didn't.
So did I. Left. I was like, oh my god, how could he have possibly let that one go?
Because that was it. He knew he screwed up, and then he could see the nerves piling up, and Rafa's game growing and becoming more stable and more scary, and then I think it was just a matter of experience at the end of it.
Yeah, no, completely. I think you lose your nerve completely. I think we can totally sympathize with him in that respect. That it's fine. It's fine to lose that game after that happens. You shouldn't have to worry about that. You can focus on your games later on. But 0-4 also made the point is that he is never going to forget that, ever.
Yeah.
The fact that happened. And you know what?
Because if he wins that,
people won't either.
If he wins that, he was. I think he would get to the finals. Like honestly, he was on a rampage.
I think he would have very easily got to the semis.
But and then it was versus Vu, and then I think either one could have won.
Yeah, Vu was playing absolutely amazing on that day. I think that was that on the Thursday he played? No, it was on the Friday.
Yeah.
Friday he played the playoffs.
Friday. And then the finals
and he beat Kilson, Avec, and Dahang in that day. That's like a nice little list of names. Especially, sorry Dahang, but especially Kilson and Avec, who I thought were playing amazingly leading up to it. It's a bit harder to gauge really how well Dahang was playing because we don't have, the news and updates from seeing the online cups. So it's hard to really measure in the same way. But you can see it was 2-1 versus Kilson and 2-1 versus Avec. So pretty sick. I've also got a shout out to Sparty for coming through the BYOC, taking that risk, gambling. Of course, he did get a fairly easy group. Let's go and have a quick look where he did end up.
It's Ron, Griffin, and Chance that group D.
Yeah, so that was a good group. I've got to say Griffin was playing fairly well, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, he made his own luck by doing what he did. And getting through is great for him.
I really like him actually coming to the playoffs and practicing a lot because like before the qualifiers of the regional, he wasn't playing duel at all, and he played all the qualifiers, and he wasn't still practicing. After the regionals, when his team lost in sacrifice, he said, "That's it. I'm just gonna practice duel. I'm gonna go to QuakeCon, and I'm gonna get at least 10K," and that's what he did.
Yeah. Absolutely. That absolutely sick from him. Apparently he was practicing like loads for the week leading up.
He was.
At least. And I mean like 12 hours a day. I think Razier was telling me how he played something like 5 or 6 rounds of Duel. When I say rounds, I mean that's playing all 4 maps in a row. And after that, Razier was like, right, I need a break now. And then Sparty continued to do the same thing then with Kilson, I think. Like the same amount of rounds. And then he went back to playing with Razier again. So it's something on like crazy amounts of games that you're just playing straight back to back. Go, go, go.
Yeah, that was crazy because I was seeing Spark like 13 games at like 2 p.m. And at 3 a.m. I was still watching him like search for games on Discord, and I'm like, there's no way just go 12 hours in a row, and I think so.
Now I'm going through some players in playoffs, but I want to give a shout out to Victor. He came 3rd in his group. It was a group with Cooler, Rafa, and Mav LP. Now
that's not an easy group.
Not an easy group whatsoever. Now he got his ass handed to him a little bit by Rafa, so fair enough. But he had an amazing series with Cooler, which was just he won the second map 3-2, but it was like in absolutely crazy ways. Here's something like one of the pivotal rounds when he was 2 rounds down already on the second map. He had 1 champion left and Cooler had 3, and he made like a comeback in the last 20 or 25 seconds. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember if I got video of that of my phone. I know someone, I think that's Ihan, wants me to show videos of the recordings. I've got them, but I'm going to try and break them up a little bit and post them onto the YouTubes. But yeah, Victor, and he went something like 3-2 or 3-1 down in the tiebreaker map. So for people who are wondering how did Victor's online performances translate to his offline performances, I think absolutely like he can be proud of himself as well. Sure, he didn't make the 10K that he would have loved to have done. I know he's in the middle of finishing his master's, his thesis. But hopefully he's going to stick around for a while longer, and we're going to get to see him play some more Quake Champions. All right, I'll go back to the... Oh, and Evil, another person who didn't make it. Whoa, 4G TV, man. Thank you so much for the 2 years in a row. Love you too. Yeah, Evil didn't make it. I think it was a gamble that wasn't really worth taking for Evil, unless he did some like Sparty-esque practice and felt that it was really, really possible. But he went into a group with Strengths, Faz, and Dewey.
Yeah, that wasn't an easy group. Especially, basically, like, Dewey started off the group great. He beat Strengths 2-0.
Yeah, apparently Strengths got like dire orbs on like 5 or 6 times in a row or something stupid. And apparently Strengths got tilted off the face of the planet.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, I'm gutted. The thing is, all right, I'll give some insider information there. Strengths versus Dewey and Faz versus Evil were playing at the same time. Now, Jahar wanted Strengths versus Dewey. Now, we didn't know that Evil versus Faz was happening because the BYOC players hadn't joined the groups yet. And when they had, I was like, look, we got to stream Evil versus Faz. That's a game with 2 crazy names. We need to see that. And Jahar reluctantly agreed, but it's like, yeah, you're right. It kind of makes sense. You want to see Evil versus Faz. And then when Jahar found out that Dewey beat Strengths, he was livid. He was not happy with me at all. And I felt a bit bad afterwards because I was like,
yeah.
Even though Evil versus Faz was actually turned out to be a good game, seeing Dewey beat Strengths on stream would have been absolute quality.
Poor Strengths. Why does everyone like to see Strengths lose?
Yeah. To be honest, if Strengths was on stream, maybe it would have gone differently as well. You know, like he still likes to play well. For people watching the broadcast, so I don't know if the butterfly effect would have taken place somehow, and if all of a sudden Strengths would have gone God mode. But anyway, we saw a good series then.
He went God mode right after that game because he 2-0'd Evil and he 2-0'd Fast to top the group after losing versus Dewey.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts actually. So he's going to be happy to have made top 16, but it was someone I actually expected to make top 4 this tournament. Which he wasn't able to accomplish.
There are those 3 players that we kind of expected to make it well, like Avek, Kilson, and Strengths. I gotta say one thing though. I think they didn't make it because they don't play Anarchy.
That's possible. But do they play Sorlag?
I think they all do. I'm not sure about Strengths, but the rest of them definitely do. I think only Dan the King wasn't playing Sorlag at all.
De
He was
Hang,
playing Quake on hard mode. No, Dan the King.
No,
Asteroid.
I know, but De Hang made top 4 and didn't play Sorlag.
Yeah, but I don't know how De Hang did it.
Yeah.
He's got the secret of Quake.
So I think that Sorlag was really the champion that led the meta this tournament. We can go into a long discussion about things that could change or other things that could improve in order to balance out any changes. But let's put that aside for a moment. I want to keep talking about these individual people. But strengths. He said that he messed up versus De Hang. He didn't play his game properly. Can't remember the intricacies of what he said, but it's definitely a bracket that he had that I think he could have gone fairly far. Having De Hang, then either Razy or Rafa. I think top 4 would have been very, very possible for him if he maybe was just a little bit more on point. Obviously, we've got Vu, who made it to the finals. We talked about him having 3 games, but to get to the finals, I think is such an awesome achievement for him. So, representing here, shot on stream, just what I'm talking about. I think that's brilliant. We've talked about Sparty. Kilson, I think he just went up against a sick Vu, which... I don't know what you can do about that. It could have gone either way. I think I've got a video of the winning reaction from Vu at the end of the Kilson game.
Because it was like they were both on the last champion on the last map, and it was 2-2.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Was it
Vu
last?
Won that one.
Was it last champion? I think Vu won it 3-0 on the last round. I'm pretty sure.
Trying to build more hype.
I know. I think there was like a one champion remaining moment at an earlier point in that map.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm just. Maybe you're right. Actually, I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
But either way,
I'm not gonna go check.
Close.
Not to ruin the hype.
Yeah. I'll post it at some point, and you guys have got VODs, but I'll post the reaction video at some point as well. And in some respects, Avec also went against an amazing Vu. I think he was finals caliber as well. Astro Boy or Dander King, I think a decent running for him.
But he was playing Quake on hard mode, as you said. He wasn't playing neither Anarchy nor Sorlag.
And that's
might have been playing Anarchy actually,
going against the grain. So I think well played to him for making top 16. I think that's excellent. Zron, getting the 2-1 versus Astro Boy. I know he had some troubles in his groups. Let me go find him.
His groups was really shaky actually, because he started losing the first map in most of the games. He lost the first map versus Griffin, and then he won the other 2. Then he lost the first map versus Party, and he won the other 2 as well.
And I think he rolled charts a little easier than the others. It sounds harsh on charts, but I think that one went a bit more easily from what I remember. But then he went up against Claus, who was obviously the finalist. Now, I'm going to put Claus aside for the moment. Gelasak, though, who played against Claus in the first round, I think great for Gelasak. It's really cool to see that name in top 16. I did get a chance to actually meet him. He came and introduced himself to me, and I was like, so I didn't recognize Gelasak at all, or at least I wouldn't put his face to the name. Then he said, "You don't know me, do you?" And I was like, I don't want to seem rude, but yeah, he told me, and it was fine. Not as awkward as the handshake. And yeah, I think great to see a CPM guy getting top 16 here. Tosspot was telling me how he's someone who's always there at the beginning of games, but his activity tapers out as the game grows, essentially. So I hope he sticks around for a bit longer, because he's definitely someone with a lot of potential. I think Faz, he had a tough bracket going against Noctis, and Noctis is actually...
Noctis is playing insane.
But that's the thing with Noctis. That's why I had him in my top 8, because he's someone who just won't get unnerved at all.
It was even the nerves, but he had he was winning all of the fights. We know from Quake Live already. He's one of the players with the highest combat skill in the game. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting him to do so well versus Cooler.
Yeah, true. He did really well versus Cooler. In fairness with before I move back onto Noctis, with Faz, I could have seen him beating Gelasax, Ron, Dander King, Sparty, Vu, like almost 50-50. Not sure about Kelson. I could see him potentially beating Strengths. Could see him beating Dahang, Razy, and Rafa. Like so many people, but he went against Noctis in the round of 16, and yeah, good games, but obviously not able to make it through. And I think it was nice. Noctis actually even showing some emotion on the stream. I usually expect him to be a bit more sort of stone-faced, but he seemed actually pretty relaxed at the end of it. So I think great result for Noctis, and he's going to be happy with the money he took home. Tox. I think he was almost lucky to have the group he did, if I'm honest. I don't think Tox played that well.
I think he played really well versus Cooler, but I think he underperformed a lot in the other games.
Yeah. He definitely underperformed in other games. But I think we would have been surprised not to see him in the top 16. Although I had him to not qualify through the regionals before, so he got lucky.
I think Tox needs to. I think Toxic needs to like make people respect him in game, because it seems like if he plays versus people that know him, for example, if he plays versus War versus Cooler, which are people that aren't going to be on his face and ignore his aim, he will do just fine. But if he goes versus most people, which will just rush him because they don't care, he seems to shake quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't think he can abuse his aim the same way as before. I think his aim's still amazing. But as we saw from Claws, there are other people who have got some high level. I don't know where you're seeing that, NVC.
I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. That's all. I don't want to know.
Let's talk about Cooler, because Cooler was probably one of my favorite people to watch through this whole QuakeCon. His interviews were hilarious and excellent. I think he was so nicely animated during his matches.
It was. Like, we don't usually see Cooler showing that emotion or emotion at all, and he was quite entertaining. And he had the best start of the tournament out of everyone else. He 6-0'd Rafa.
Yeah, actually. Like, he just went absolutely ham against Rafa. I thought that was crazy. And that was a match we were like, we've got to stream this. And we probably could have switched to another one. I mean, he made a mince meat out of Rafa completely. But I just loved seeing kind of all of his emotions and just how hype he was after winning each of his games. Like, he was just so much fun to see doing well. And I would have loved to have seen him gone further. I'm even like impressed at how hype he was after beating Dahang in a bronze final, which is usually like an anticlimactic match to stream. But for the first time ever, I enjoyed watching the bronze final. And he was really, really happy to beat Dahang and be top 3.
And even more respect to Cooler, because since he started his career, I don't even know how long ago, he's always been in the top 4 of the world throughout every single Quake that he's played. And it's four different Quakes now: Quake 3, Quake 4, Quake Live, and Quake Champions. And that's ridiculous. I don't know anyone else who has done that.
But I don't think he's made better than top 2 at a QuakeCon or top 3.
No, he still hasn't won a QuakeCon. I mean, since 2007, the only people that had won a QuakeCon had been Cypher and Rafa. Yeah.
The way I saw him play against Tox and Rafa and things like that, I was like, this guy can win QuakeCon. This guy is going absolutely ham. I guess we saved the best to last. We got Claws. What a tournament from him. What an unbelievable tournament.
During the playoff stage, he only dropped a map, and it was to Cooler.
Yeah. That is wild. Absolutely wild. Did he drop a map in groups? He did to Vu.
Yeah, he did. He did to Vu.
Yeah.
He lost the first map, and then he was like, okay, I gotta play Anarchy. Because he was playing Flash instead of Anarchy, and then he just switched to Anarchy.
So that's something that Claws, like some people saw Claws and like, it's just all aim and nothing else. That's not true. He was just very intelligent to say, oh, you're picking these champions? Well, I'm going to pick the same ones, and I'm just going to like do it better than you. And I thought, like, holy crap, how good are you at the game to be able to do that? You just have to be damn strong to be able to sort that out.
I've said it before, but Claws, he has the best combat skills in Quake since 2014.
Combat skills are just sick.
He just wins like literally every single fight. Yeah. Give him anything. He had clips with 1 HP, and he was pressing forward after he didn't have Ghost Walk anymore to kill a Sorlag on 150 HP.
These kind of moves, and you're playing Sorlag, and you're like, why? Why would you do that? But it's almost like a battle of the brains in that instance, because you're doing what's unexpected. How can you shoot the devil in the back? What if you miss? I think like Tossbot made the cut as a quote to me after it. It's like, how can you do this? This is just absolutely nuts. You're just terrified of him at that point. And just some of the small details in the fights as well. Sometimes he went a little bit too YOLO when he lost the fights, but a lot of the time he was very calculated. He's like, actually, I won't rush in this instance because I know that they're camping around that corner or that something's happening that is going to put me at a significant disadvantage. But a lot of time it was calculated, and he wanted to create those situations where he could fight. Thank you, Brazdi1, for subscribing for 4 years. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. And there is Rolly the One asking, do you know any gossip about Claws that we don't talk with Cypher situation?
I do.
Now, it's not really my place to talk about it.
Yeah,
but
it's up to them. If they want to talk about it, they will.
As far as I know, it's not like, someone slept with someone else's like parent or sibling. It's I think it's just a difference in personality and just attitudes towards each other in some way. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably less dramatic than people think it is.
Yeah.
To put it one way. But
speaking of Cypher, actually, now that you brought him up, I think Cypher looked better than most people at QuakeCon did, except for Claus and Vu. I think Cypher would have made it to the grand finals versus one of them if he was here.
Interesting. I would have struggled to see him outside top 4. And I saw him top 2 with Avec, but neither of my predictions came true there.
I think if Avec was playing Anarchy, he would have made it to the finals. Because I watched the game of Avec versus Vu like 3 times. And Avec was playing just like Lost. They both have ridiculous combat skills and insane timing for when they should pick up the fights. But versus Avec, Vu, when he realized, okay, now is when he's going to rush, and this is going to be a fight where I'm not in an advantage, I'm just going to run away. And you see Avec having to use a die arc to try and catch up to Vu's Anarchy, but he can't because Anarchy is just too fast. Whereas Claus, you cannot run from another Anarchy with Anarchy because he's just as fast.
And his aim is just... Oh my God. Actually, before I say, I got to say massive thank you as well to Math Wins for subscribing too. Thank you very much for the support. Much appreciated. One of my favorite clips of the whole tournament was actually just watching Vu in the grand final doing backwards rockets. Even though he wasn't really hitting the rockets, it was just a thought because Claus would still have to play around them. And even then going backwards into that small hallway on the Corrupted Keep towards the Mega, I was like, Jesus. Like, that is... I just thought that was amazing. Like,
it's already hard as Claus, for example, for an Anarchy to chase an Anarchy that's running backwards, shooting rockets. So now imagine if you're not playing Anarchy versus that.
Yeah.
You have no chance of doing anything at all.
And he was going like full speed as well, backwards.
Yeah,
it was
ridiculous.
One of my favorite things, definitely. And you know what? Even though Vu, aside from Blood Run, aside from that map, he got kind of crushed in the final. He was one of the most fun people to watch. Just his style, his movement is so sick, and it's like a really good demonstration for people to see. Holy crap! Look at those skills in Quake. Has Apex showed the video you did? I do not know. Do feel free to PM though. I'd like to take a look at some point. We can have a chat about Sacrifice a bit, actually. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I think I got it. So I'm going to start with Maestro.
All right.
Now, they played the first game of the entire Quake World Championship on stream versus Team Liquid. Now, they all say it themselves. They were garbage. They got absolutely annihilated by Team Liquid, and they didn't use clutch in those lineups there, and it was kind of like a devastating loss for them. And I think it was on the Thursday, which is a day that also Vu wasn't feeling particularly good on that occasion. But I know players have to wake up on the right side of the bed, blah blah blah. It's their responsibility to play well. But still, there was no team cohesion on that day at all. Then afterwards, they had to play iTotem Tellies. Now, they lost the first map, and they were still running their strats without clutch. And the second map, they decided, right, we're going to run clutch, and we're going to make this work. They did. They still lost the first round, but then they won the two preceding that. Afterwards. And then they won the third map convincingly. Okay, we're in business a little bit. Now, they ended up going against Team Liquid again to decide who was going to make it through. And they played a much nicer series versus Team Liquid. I mean, it was like a really, really enjoyable one. They unfortunately lost on Ruins of Sarnath. But I was like, damn, we can see this team obviously has potential to be, they are a top team in the world. Now, we can move on to Team Liquid now, which I think, despite their showing versus 2Z in the groups, they actually had a really impressive performance in the tournament. I don't know what you think of that.
I think if Team Liquid went versus... Who did they go versus after?
They played against 2Z.
Sorry. I was still talking about Maestro. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think if Maestro was in the group B instead of... I think basically like whoever of Maestro and Defendants was in the group of that wouldn't pass. And Maestro did play really well, and they almost beat Liquid in that second game. That was a really close one. But Liquid, they just started growing. They started learning much more throughout the game. Because like right before they started the tournament, they didn't even know anything about sacrifice. Because I was talking to Wins on WhatsApp, and they said like they barely had any time to practice. There was a little bit of a sabotage going on by other American teams during the regionals and after the regionals, right before the QuakeCon. So they barely had any practice at all. And like they didn't know basic things such like that this obelisk, for example, in some maps is better than the other one to defend because of this and because of that. Like they started to learn that throughout the tournament, and you could see them becoming much better.
They learned so fast, though, is the thing.
Because they went... Go on.
They got such intelligent players on the team. And when you've got people like the Hang as well, he has got such a sort of strong background in team games, and you put him with an intelligent player like Rafa, put him with almost a pedigreed team player like ID, and Wins, of course, who is an elite European player, you're gonna start solving things fairly quickly. And when they eventually went against No Too Fast in the playoffs, I mean, that was an amazing series.
I think if the game happened like if Liquid played someone else before them and then they played them again, I think they probably would have taken that game.
Yeah.
That game was just really, really close. I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah. Completely. Hang on, some comments dropped. What is that video that someone linked?
What video? Don't click links from chat.
It was a clip.
Oh.
I wasn't totally foreign. Someone was asking about. Actually, I'm gonna save questions. We're gonna bounce off chat in a few. I want to cover the sacrifice stuff and then some general QuakeCon things, and then let's.
Then we'll go into specifics.
Questions. Yeah. Let's talk about. I want to talk about actually iTotem Tellies. Now, I want to almost make like a formal apology for ruling them out of the tournament so hard. They actually had a good tournament. Apparently, they'd been doing really well against Team Liquid in practices earlier on in the month, and they've got a couple of people with Team Fortress 2 backgrounds. There are 3 very young players, and the other one is the Jeffrey, who apparently is like the old guy or the older guy on the team. But they actually showed that they were a competent, decent team that do actually have there is a space for them on the world stage, and I really hope that they keep working together and getting some results, because I think absolutely good on them for their good showings. I'm gonna move over to some of the Group B teams. Team Johnson and On Time, I'll put them in the sort of same page for the moment, but they had some really close games with each other, and I think it could almost have gone either way. TBH.
I think On Time were actually playing pretty well, because they weren't versus the Defendants, right? And they almost won. They Defendants won 2-1 in the first map. On Time won the second map on it with a 2-0, and then the third map went to the tiebreaker. It was Blood Covenant. It went to 2-1. I think that one could have gone either way.
They went tiebreakers twice against the defendants.
Yeah.
And both times the defendants just narrowly getting ahead. On Time, I think, is a very talented, is definitely the second best American team in my opinion. Team Johnson are quite Blood Covenant heavy, but they actually lost their Blood Covenants and did better on other maps during the tournament. I think they're a good team as well.
I don't think so.
Just improve their consistencies a little bit more, and they'd be better. But definitely a hard group to be in.
I don't think either Team Johnson or Item Dallas would have qualified at all if they were playing from Europe. I think they would just have gotten destroyed.
I think you're probably right as well.
I think On Time could have qualified because you saw them play pretty well, but I think Team Johnson and Item Dallas would have done much.
I think iTotem Telly's, you're probably right there. I'm still impressed with the way they played, but I can't disagree. Team Johnson, I think they'd be around top 10 in the world, quite possibly. And there is something about the way they play Blood Covenant that's really, really good. But it wasn't. It's not the same kind of lineup that you see in other Euros teams as well. But I don't have too many negative things to say about them. They did have some good games at the end of the day. They almost took a round off No Too Fast on the M6, from what I remember.
Yeah, this Not Too Fast started really bad actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and then they just woke up. They took a round on Lockbox, I think, of No Too Fast as well.
So someone's saying Maestro got slaughtered against Not Too Fast, but they didn't play Not Too Fast. So I don't know how that's possible.
I mean, they probably mean in the regionals.
Oh, really?
If anything.
No, they didn't even get slaughtered by them in the regionals, though. They had 80% or so pretty much every single round.
That was pretty close, actually. They didn't get the round, but it was always pretty close on that.
So just want to put that aside to get rid of the BS in chat for a moment. Sorry, I'm not usually that aggressive to Chaz. But yeah, anyway, sorry. What were we talking about before then?
I don't remember. We were talking about, I don't know, Team Johnson took a map from around.
Almost took a round.
No, they did take a round from Not Too Fast. It was
okay. Oh, see, that's weird because it's not even their strongest map. But they got 99% on Blood Covenant on their first round, and then they underperformed a little bit. Not Too Fast, we can talk about them, I think. Actually, wait, we've covered everyone else apart from Not Too Fast and 2Z.
Not Too Fast, they started pretty badly, I think.
Well,
they got better.
I don't think it was necessarily like a full upwards curve the whole way because they struggled versus Team Liquid in the playoffs.
But Team Liquid were getting much better than they were, and Not Fast. Like considering how they started the groups, dropping ground to Team Johnson, and then they kind of destroyed the defendants somehow. Like when they played them, it wasn't even close. And then they played Liquid, and Liquid did take a map, and Liquid was starting to be really, really good. As soon as Liquid won Barrel Chambers, I thought Team Liquid had it, but then Not Too Fast managed to clutch it and win the 2-0 on the last map.
I won a beer from Machiavelli, so thank you. Wasn't sweating it at all, even though they were one round away from losing on the second map. I gotta say, there was an impressive final they had versus 2Z, though. I think they played better than I expected them to.
Because they won a map.
2Z, they won a map. They won some further rounds as well.
They won one round in the map.
And a map, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They won Ruins of Saturn at 2-1, and they won a round in Blood Covenant.
And the last map, though, that 2Z won, was still actually pretty close at the same time. Even though I think it was 2-0 in the final map they played, I'm pretty sure it was still like really, really close between them. Actually, before we go on to that a bit more, Team Liquid used Scale Bearer on Blood Covenant against Not Too Fast at the end. And I thought that was just a cool pick that they used. And
because Waynes was getting picks left, right, and center with the ability, especially on the power-ups. It's a really good pick for that map. And they were making it work.
Yeah, I think that's neat. 2Z, though, again, what a tournament these guys have had. They didn't lose a round until the finals, which speaks for itself, to be fair. They crushed Team Liquid. Like, getting through the groups was, easy mode. Then playing against the defendants, I think there was maybe one round or so that they had trouble with, but they didn't really get nervous until the finals.
I have the percentages in here versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid got 33, 34, 66, and 38 during the 4 rounds.
They got the 66.
Defendants got 0, 20, 39, and then 66 at the final round.
Yeah. So 2Z kind of like slammed themselves into the finals. I think from definitely a group of people that was expected, but I know a lot of people were like sort of almost struggling to make them top 4. But yeah, and we finally got to see them for the first time ever play against Not Too Fast on LAN in competition, and it was a really fun finals. The first map though was hammering. I know that 2Z crushed the first map, but afterwards things got interesting. 13. Yeah, afterwards like nerves started kicking in a bit more from the players.
Sarnat, I know for a fact that Silence App and Claus, they both said that was their worst game ever. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Silence App definitely suffered from nerves a fair bit. I think possibly even Latromi. But I know that there were some questionable plays being made in the finals where they were doing some soul runs that just didn't really make sense, and they were kind of the communication seemed to have broken down a bit. But they picked themselves up eventually. They made 300 grand for the team. Hron made an extra 15 grand for himself, and Claus made an extra 75 grand for himself. They took home, how much did they take home?
$415,000.
Yeah, that's money's right there. They took home like almost half of the whole prize pool and removed it from other teams.
Speaking of money, I did the esports earning things. All updated already, and now thanks to the tournament there are 4 players in Quake that go over $200,000.
That is
Vu and Fatality were already over $200,000. And Sturmy and Toxic were really close to the 190. They finally got over that, and Sturmy is at $225,000 and Toxic is at $202,000.
I'm trying to find it at the moment.
Wait, I'll give it to you.
No, I found it.
How did you find it?
Well, I was looking at the tournament because I wanted to look at a different split.
But right, but I'll give you a link with it in a sec.
Have you got a link with the players?
Yeah, I have everything. Okay, where are you?
Hold on. God damn it. Alright, I found all the players for it. I'm done.
No, you didn't.
Dahang.
Yeah, but I'm looking at like all of them from all the Quakes.
Oh no, I'm looking at them from just Quake Champions. I don't want to look at them yet for all the Quakes.
Okay.
Dahang is the only American in top 10 for Quake Champions earnings so far. Actually, I will take a link.
There we go.
What's this paste bin stuff?
It's where I could just open it and you'll see.
Oh Christ. Okay. This looks complicated. Wait, let me go back to this. Claus number 1, Zron number 2, Latromi number 3, Sidestep number 4, obviously. But yeah, I mean, great bloody news for them. Vu as well, sneaking in top 5 with his incredible duel performance and getting in the top 8 in the sacrifice. And then you got some not too fast players, and Dahang with the assistance of his good duel performance, getting 20k in duel and getting top 4 with his team. So also very good. We've got 2 UK players as well in top 15. Let's go Too Good. Let's go Deuce. Really nice. And having players like Razy up there as well. And then lots of Americans down below. Right, let me look at yours. Yeah.
Mine is basically all of the Quakes. Quake 3, Quake Live, Quake 4, and Quake Champions. I did not include Quake 2, but I included some of the Quake 2 players.
So Claus, narrowly above Rafa, actually, after that one tournament.
This tournament, since we like stats, this tournament boosted Cooler, Rafa, Claus, and Toxic over Cypher.
Yeah.
Cypher dropped 4 spots by not attending this tournament. He's now the 9th best Quake earner.
Quake nerd.
Earner.
I said he's 9th best Quake nerd.
As opposed to 5th place.
Yeah, I see. Fatality is still up there, although I think a lot of those winnings aren't Quake. Or is it only Quake?
Yeah, I just put Quake players, basically. Okay. People that play Quake.
But to be fair with Vu, he's also earned a lot of money from things that aren't Quake. So
did
I guess FPS makes sense.
Yeah.
So all right, fair dues. Yeah, and you said something to me as well that Vu is the only person to reach the grand final in $1 million tournaments or something like that.
Yep, he's the only player. There's only been like two $1 million tournaments, and Vu reached the final in both.
So, and in a way to mix up, that was 330 or 340k in Duel. So, but it's in the $1 million tournament that's advertised. So,
yeah.
Just put that there. But it's Duel, so yeah. Correct. You are the champion. Do we have anything else that we want to cover immediately before we... Because I know Kreia wants to talk about his word for the hourglass. But
since we're still on the earnings, just quick note. Faz and Noctis, they both had like below 10k earnings in Quake in all their games. They had like below 10k or below 15k, and now they're both over 55k.
Both over 60k, according
both
to
over 60k, yeah.
So very impressive. CZM not entering at all, and he still remains 16th. 0-4 still top 7.
Yeah.
Excluding that from the tournament, definitely could have expected to see him good things if he wasn't in id.
This tournament also boosted wins and Avec to the 100k mark.
Yeah. I mean, Silent Sep, Latromi, Zron. I mean, these players weren't even and Claus, these players weren't even anywhere near the top, like 100 or so.
Yeah, let's just check his earnings. Besides that, like Latromi has $216, Silent Sep has $464.
Yeah.
Zron has $32, and Claus has $277.
Yeah.
All of them together wouldn't make it top 100 in Quake.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. We've got Too Good up in the top 30 as well. Deuce is in the top 34. Yeah, absolutely balmy. And if I go over to games, then Quake Champions is 33rd on the list. And I've got Quake 3 that is 30th. So if you put all the Quakes together, you're probably looking at a sort of top 20 game. Yeah, easily a top 20 game. And probably top 17 or so.
Let's put all the Quakes together. Hold on. I have my calculator on. Wait up. 1,137,015 plus... Oh, wait. I messed up already.
Oh my god. It takes 6 to change his name? OMG. Yeah, alright guys. I think we've had a nice little discussion talking about the results. Things like that. As for the event itself, I thought bloody amazing. I can't believe I got to be a part of all of it on top of that. So I'm really delighted to have gotten involved, done some analyst stuff. Really enjoyed doing the analyst work on the desk. And thank you, Ints, as well, for helping me with a few stats to talk about. And wait, do we have the...
Quake could be number 17 on the list.
Nice.
Instead of Heroes of New Earth.
And of course, we've got this wonderful moment to remember.
Oh god, the handshake.
Just saying, that's gesticulation right there from me. He misread that, not me. All right? I didn't even know the handshake proposition was going. I was just getting my hands out and enjoying life.
I hope he didn't pay you a beer after that.
Oh, he did. He bought me 2 beers and I double-barreled them.
Oh, God.
Good. So, yeah, let me move away from that, though. And we can put up some of the results here. And obviously, guys, we've got Denver to look forward to. Now, what feels weird about Denver, DreamHack Denver, is that it's $75,000. And after the QuakeCon's $1 million tournament and the Quake World Championships, it's like penis now floppy. But, you know, if you think about it, it's like the second biggest tournament Quake's had in however long, like ages. It's still a big tournament. And I think it should be really exciting. And I hope that all the players are taking it as seriously, if not more seriously, because it's a continuation of tournaments from Quake World Championship. So, should be really exciting. And then, obviously, DreamHack Winter in Jönköping in Sweden. That's got 350k on the line. Also should be seriously exciting. So, yeah. Right. Ince.
Hello. And you forgot the DreamHack in Denver.
I didn't. I spent like 3 minutes talking about that.
All right. I didn't hear the start, so I just assumed you forgot.
God's sake. No, that's fine. Right. Let's put a chat. Let's have a look at what Faz showed.
Oh, that's the Overwatch earnings. It shows that Overwatch, from 462 tournaments since 2015 in November, they have
462. Jesus.
Yeah, they have close to 4 million collective prize pool. But their best player is Taimu at $43,000. Sorry,
where's the consistency there? I don't understand.
It's pretty consistent, like all together. If you check like the whole list, it's like just 1k difference between all the players.
Look at number 10 on the earners. Let me.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna put an Overwatch thing on here for. Yeah. His wins and his brother are in top 10. Like what a pair of absolute legends, I gotta say. Those guys. Oh, there's also Crew or Cry. I don't know how to say it. Number 24. He was a Shootmania player. I don't know what he was before that.
I mean, Soon and then Co were Shootmania players as well.
Oh, Reinforcers there. Do I recognize any others? Not really. Yeah, so that's quite cool.
Tailspin was from TF2, I believe. Same time it was from TF2.
What was the viewership like actually for Quake Champions?
It was like the mainstream was always between like starting at like 5k and finishing at like from 15 to 18k, and in the Steam stream there was always like 10k to 20k. When the lights, the power went out, both streams had around 43,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's 43 is pretty good. I know for a fact that the Twitch stream peaked on at least 18k. It might have even peaked on 20k, but I could be wrong there. But I just don't know about the other like.
Steam peaked at like 24k.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
So I think that's good news. No matter what way that you look at it, I think we can be happy that this was good. And through the tournament and as the stream was on, it was growth. You know, it was going upwards and it wasn't going downwards. It's not like we started and a load of people joined and then they slowly left throughout the tournament. People were tuning in and more people were getting interested in it as the tournament went on. So, yeah. What's that sound?
I don't know.
That's not me, that's you.
No, that's not me. I'm listening from you. I can hear it from my headset, so it's
I'm not getting any sounds.
What the hell, then? Where is it coming from?
I don't know. Right. Hopefully it'll calm. Right, guys, let's put everything on chat. see what you guys are saying. Are we ever getting a 100k stream? We're gonna have to have lots of hard work and grinding, and I think eventually we'll get there. But if anyone was expecting the stream to get 100k off the get-go in this first tournament in the beginning of early access, you're deluding yourself. You're telling porcupines, and you need to have realistic expectations and see that this is a starting point, something that we
there
need to
is
grow
no
from.
single game in the first 3 months that even passed like 30, 40k.
Yeah.
Maybe StarCraft 2.
Kreia says, well, the remastered version had a lot of views, didn't it?
Yeah.
Kreia says, I think DreamHack will do way more viewers. I don't know about way more, but I think DreamHack can build on what we had at the Quake World Championship, to be fair. If we can, get the timings of the events right, and there's not a lot of other competition in global events, and then we can still get the Twitch support and things like that. Any more details from backstage? Diego asks. Not really. There was a lot of staff involved. It was the first time I'd ever worked with DJ Wheat, and he was awesome to work. Like, actually, all the talent it was so fun to work with everybody, to be honest.
Well, speaking of the talent, I had never seen Ketchup and Mustard casting, and I gotta say they were awesome.
Yeah,
they were really, really fun to cast. I'm usually like really biased against any casters. They put on quite an enjoyable show, and I hope they keep casting Quake.
Yeah, they've got a lot of energy, and their knowledge is improving all the time. So they're definitely a really positive point there.
Yeah, the condiments were really good.
Did I talk? Oh, hang on, there's a lot of things. Compared to the money they put into tournament, I felt they need to throw more money into real advertising to get things marketed. I mean, it's early access. It's honestly, there's not that much point doing it right now. They're still fixing so many things. They're still adding so many things to the game. I think marketing, when the game goes full release, I think that's the crunch point. That's when they need to go all guns blazing and be like, bam, hello world, play the fucking game right now. And hopefully people will get super excited about it.
I think like right now, these early access and the beta tournaments that we're getting are mostly for the existing Quake community, so that we all gather around Quake Champion, or for the pros, so that they all have us here. That's what they want first, I suppose.
I think there are probably too many casters. I didn't commentate with Blue. The only person I commentated with was Tosbot.
Yeah, they had like those little groups. ZSX was always with Dan.
Yeah, I was always
Zahara
with
was with Blue. Yeah.
And Ketchup was always with Mustard as a inseparable, obviously. I think that was good, because actually with 2 streams going on that we had, we could do a good rotation, and we could always have 1 or 2 people having a break, because there's always someone who's on the analyst desk on top of that, then 2 people on the streams. It actually worked out really, really well in the end. Maybe we could have intensified our workload and taken a fewer breaks, but from our side, we felt like we were being looked after really well. And I think it wasn't to the detriment of the stream. I think it still worked well for the stream.
That clip is awesome.
But
I think that's the one where they go mute.
Pardon?
I think that's the clip where they are muted.
Oh, Christ. Yeah,
Have you seen the video?
No, I haven't. I'll
you
save
have
that
to
for
see
later.
You should put it on stream, actually. It was amazing.
Okay. Sorry, I can't make it. Can I make it show better? I don't know.
I mean the whole video, not the clip.
What video?
Have you not seen the Quake recap video of QuakeCon?
No.
Oh my! Someone link the video, please.
Is this the second stream? Or if someone links it, I'll do it. But someone's Rolly says, wasn't the point of the 1 million Quake World Championship marketing? Yes and no. I think it's setting a precedent for the game. And you got to remember that $1 million prize pool is just like a figure. It's ignoring the expenses and the price that went into also the production and things like that. I mean, there was a lot of costs aside from the prize pool. But it's about creating a starting point for esports for the game at the same time. And, you know, you're not expecting, holy shit, this is going to attract fucking billions of people to play Quake Champions. And we're suddenly going to get, you know, 1 million players concurrently, like, at a constant. And then on weekends, it's going to be 3 million. It's not realistically going to just grow overnight. Because then, if you do that, or if that is ever even possible to begin with, what you have next is like, well, how do we improve on that? You're going to get a slow downward trend. There's not enough content to make the game interesting to millions and millions of people concurrently right now. You're just starting to getting people to trickle in and to support the game and to move on to the next part of the adventure, the journey of growing the game. Did you want me to watch this clip, or what am I watching?
No, not the clip. The video that Phil Gouveia just linked. It's quite a long video. It's like 8 minutes.
Oh, but I don't want to stream. I don't want to all of it.
You will.
That's the funny and awkward moments. That's all of them, though.
That's just an amazing video.
Oh, I've seen it.
I watched it with the team QZ, and we just pissed ourselves laughing.
Oh no, it's really good. I enjoyed it. The thing that QuakeCon did really well is they actually did. There was a lot of humor involved, and I thought that there was a lot of funny moments in it. Like, it wasn't like constantly funny, but you could probably expect at least something humorous to happen every hour, at least. So I enjoyed the fact that the players contributed to that a lot. I think the talent as well. It was very enjoyable. Even if the only humorous thing I did was by accident, I'll take that.
Yo, what's up, Zoot Hints?
Yo, man, how you doing?
Hey, good evening, guys. Yeah, good. Just wanted to say welcome back, and
thank you.
Good to have you guys on. It was a really good QuakeCon. I enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed the production, apart from at the beginning with the sound issues. But in the whole, it was really, really good.
Yeah, it did go down pretty well, actually. I'm chuffed to bits with it. So hopefully, the guys at the top of Bethesda are happy and smiling too, and things will continue as whatever is planned.
Yeah.
Let me move on to some Twitch chat. Was there a ZSX moment? I didn't watch.
ZSX had a lot of moments.
Did he?
He said like Quake Live during 30 seconds like 4 times.
I heard him say it once, but I think I was out in the crowd, and I was like, I just managed to hear it. Or because when we watched it in our green room, we had a special place where all the talent could go and the makeup artists could hang around, and we could see the stream, but we couldn't hear it very well because there's so much like noise behind us where the stage was, so everything kind of muddled into one. ZSX said battlesuit like 5 times instead of protection.
Yeah.
Old habits die hard. That's all I can say. Next time, please do more interviews. Would love to hear strengths, Razy kills. Yeah, that unfortunately that was something. Like, the thing is, usually I had quite a lot of influence at QuakeCons because I'm one of the very few people who's actually going out and trying to interview people or casting or hosting or whatever it might be. But there's such like a tight show to pack in and to make sure that we can get many games playing as possible, and that we can at least have some structure to the stream too. So it's so that it works, so that it creates a good flow.
We can talk about that, like things people would have liked more.
I'll tell you immediately what I would have liked. I would have liked more stats, more frags. More
exactly. I was going to talk about that. I would love to have seen the scoreboard at all.
Yeah, like it would have given so much more information to go into.
Exactly.
To analyze.
For the analysis desk, even for the casters to speak about. I know we keep pressing tab every couple of minutes just so we know what's actually going on in the game.
Yeah, that would have helped enormous amounts. So I hope that we can have that for some tournaments in the near future, or find a way to do it, or to break it down. I'd prefer between each round on a competitive stage like that to have more like 15 to 30 seconds between each round. I think sacrifice should be rounds broken up more, and you should click like all ready for the next round or something like that. Or an admin should be able to click, okay, we're ready for the second round. We should have time, at least the casters, not go back to the analyst desk, but the casters should be able to break down a round for you before they're rushing into the action 10 seconds later.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You feel they only showcase first place teams and duel winners. Is that time constraints? Can't we get a word from Vu? He came in second. Yeah, I think it would have been. To be honest, in a lot of esports events, you don't really get a second place interview, at least not till afterwards.
You never get, because like the guy just lost. Like, don't you remember like the huge what happened with Joe Rogan, that he interviewed the loser instead of the winner like a couple of months ago in boxing, and he said it was the worst thing he ever did because the guy started crying. Because like it's after you lose the final, you're super emotional, and you shouldn't interview the person that lost for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there should be some attention drawn to it at some point, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be something that's immediate, you know.
Not
for sure.
Right after the guy lost. Please.
Yeah. I think it's fine. Yeah, I missed some coverage of Vigil and BYC. Yeah, the thing is, there was so much going on. I think one thing QuakeCon could do, or big events could do, is having like a bigger LAN lead up to it, or maybe like spread across 5 days. But you know, those are the things that are like very difficult to request. But I think it's also fair criticism or feedback at the same time, because you want to see more of the matches. You don't want to. The thing with the duel is the bad matches end quickly, and the good matches are great, and you tend to not want to miss either. You think downtimes are hurting the stream? Battled up to 50 minutes of nothing between games. I thought, again, all big esports, you're going to have at least 15 minutes between each game. And to be honest, it was very consistent. It was very prompt. And aside from any technical issues, I think people could know when to expect the next games. You can't just cram game. All right, 2 minutes game, 2 minutes game. And you can't do that. You don't create a story. You don't. There's no build up to the end of a tournament that way. I think 15 minutes between a game is absolutely fine. And logistically, it makes sense as well. Was there a QuakeCon channel? There was so there was something that was going on with the BYOC.
There was the QuakeCon channel where they streamed the BYOC. I'm not remember if they streamed the BYOC, but they streamed a bit of the Quake Live CTF tournament and the Quake 2 that was won by David.
Cute Boys Against Crime won the BYOC Sacrifice. Sanctify. Ooh, I know Sanctify. I think I know Fragtastic. I don't know Flame or Snowy, but they won. Oh wait, that's BR1. Yes. Sorry, I'm expecting that. Mojo, Kane, Thumper, and Kev won that one. They didn't qualify for QWC. I think they came out. I can't remember when, but they were at the regionals, but they didn't make it later. Demon Sphere in Clan XL and Devastation. Madrigal in Rainbow Team with Vibration, Pithy, and Ballin. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what other Sacrifice BYOC 2. Christ, there was lots of stuff going on. The Australians actually won some money.
Oh, nice.
And Zenaki also had a team with Dewey, Zara, and JJ. That's quite funny, actually. But all right, nice one, Aussies, getting a win there. Who won? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Oh, this was the qualifier.
You are terrible at browsing stuff.
Shut your face. I'm doing this on the fly. I didn't rehearse this, okay? David won. Was this the Quake 2? Yeah. 5K. I think that was expected result. Quake World Duel. Locktar won. Again, you could probably pretty expected. Thumper, Dirtbox, and Rio are on there. Quake Live CTF. Rainbow. Madrigal's team won on this one. So, very nice. A2M, guys. Boov's team. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, obviously there are so many things going on. Like, there was great prize pools in the BYOC as well. So, honestly, there wasn't enough time to watch everything. If you're trying to consume all the Quake, you're not going to be able to see every single game going on. There was just, I think that's why QuakeCon was really cool this year, just because no matter what the hell aspect of Quake you're interested in, there was probably something for you along the road, as well as a massive tournament. Evan says you were pretty high on Zeron going in. Any thoughts on his performance? I think I maybe would have expected more from him in duel, but he did run up against Claws in top
that was
8.
The thing.
So that's pretty intense to go against. But I think he definitely played great. He had a huge impact in this team for Sacrifice. I know he practiced really hard. And we're actually going to have a Zron interview on Sunday before 125 FPS to get his words. So I am glad that you reminded me to talk about that.
I'm going to rehearse with him because I don't want to see any more I don't know man easy interviews from any of them.
Possibly a good idea. But Zron's really chill. I'm sure you're jealous that I got to meet him and you didn't. I
am actually. I was really looking forward to meet him in the regionals, and then he dodged it, and then I dodged QuakeCon, so we're yet to meet.
Dagger1331 actually says Zron playing Galena in Lockbox was really cool to see. So I think but as Zron is super chill guy. I actually ended up spending quite a lot of time with the 2Z guys. I went to Denny's with them.
Oh God!
I didn't eat there. I had already eaten. But I went along.
Why do you make?
Because Latromi was just so excited to go there. I think Silencev was excited to go there as well. It was just
no.
I think that Zron. I expected him to win Sacrifice with this team. Tick goes off my checklist. In a way, I expected him to perform better in duel, but I'd never predicted him to do as well as he did. But I was not surprised to see him have the successes he had at QuakeCon. So I think brilliant showing from him overall. And again, he's a guy who's going to make such a huge impact in Quake Champions.
Oh yeah, since we're talking about 2Z, we started our own Discord.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you can link that in chat if you like.
Wait, I'm linking it now.
Did I expect...
Can I sorry to interrupt. Can I ask a question just about 2Z now that you guys are talking about them?
Sure.
It's more directed towards Ints regarding the tweet you posted a few days ago about professional esports team picking them up, perhaps offering a contract. Have you gotten any news about that? Are you allowed to talk about it? I don't know if anything's...
We have had a few teams approaching us, and right now it's like, since we're not exactly like looking for a team, we're just taking it all easy and seeing what each team is interested on and see if we can reach any good project with anything.
Nice.
So I think that's, in short, TBA.
Yeah, I'm getting very good at this PR stuff. You know?
Elster asked, did you expect Claws to be so strong? Definitely in Sacrifice, definitely not in duel. He was really sick in duel. So what made 2Z so much better than everyone else in Sacrifice? They just spent so much more time thinking about Sacrifice than anyone else did. Like a lot of teams spent as much time as each other playing, and some probably spent more time than 2Z actually playing. But Zron and Silencev were like the brains of the operation, and what they did in the way that they brought Latromi and Claws into the game and created that team synergy was just unbelievable. They just did everything better than everyone else. They theory crafted better. They were just more coordinated, more everything. It was they took that time they needed to just create their strategies and properly put their mind into it, rather than just thinking, okay, if we play more, we'll do better, which is, I think, a lot of players go off that mentality. Thank you, Crep, for the 666. No widow here. Thank you very much, though, man. Picard explained, Evil struggles with Quick Champions on stream. Quick Live, when Evil catches you, it's a frag night. I'm sending Quick Champions, there is so much dodging, and he can't utilize his Quick Live skills. Yeah, I think Evil definitely has struggled to adapt a little bit, but if he can get his aim the same way as before and he can incorporate the abilities correctly, I would be surprised if we don't at some point see Evil make a return towards the top. Just wondering if Clutch is viable in Sacrifice. Didn't see other teams playing Clutch in Sacrifice. Well, Maestro used him. I think Maestro used him very well, but again, that's a sort of TBA in terms of will Clutch continue to be in the meta, and because there's a lot of things with the acid and the plasma trail and things like that can counter Clutch fairly well. But I still think that Maestro used him decently, and it was good to see Clutch used at least on a couple of occasions during the tournament.
I'm glad it wasn't used in duel, at least. The duel tournament was so much fast forward and aggressive than I expected to be. It was really entertaining to watch.
I wouldn't have been so mad if Clutch came in once or twice, you know. But if Clutch was as present as he was in like the regionals and early parts of August and late July, then yeah, I would have been pretty mad. There was a lot of fast pace though in this tournament, 100%.
Yeah. And I definitely see a nerf for Sorlag incoming. I think.
Yeah.
Or I think for Sorlag, you could see. I don't think he should buff others, but I think Sorlag could use a nerf, and he could have like two different nerfs. You could like nerf his active acid damage from like 25 to 15, or you could just cut his stack in half, and he would still be just as strong.
No, I think
offensively, but not as offensive.
A lot of the players were saying actually 50 damage from the damage over time is too much. And some people were saying actually rather than going in the acid pool on the floor and then taking 50 damage over 5 seconds, what if you were just damaged when you were stood in it or walking in it? Because for a small champion, that's a lot. And maybe like from 25 to 20 or something on direct hits. That was something that people were
That would be nice.
Yeah. But I don't know, like, I have no news on what is going to be done. And yeah, that you're right, that was Garpy that was using Clutch. Yes. What about Visor? Barely seen a Sacrifice or Duel. I think if Agent or Cypher were there, we probably would have seen a bit more sort of Visor.
Definitely a bit more Visor and a bit more Galena.
Yeah. Galena wasn't a couple of duels?
Yeah, Razy used there in Sarnat, I believe.
Yeah. Possibly even on Blood Covenant as well, actually.
I think someone used it as well on Corrupt Keep.
Yeah, I think you're right. Were you surprised that Rafa got dominated by Dahang? Do you think Quake Champions just lines up better with Dahang's style? I don't know about his style necessarily, but I think that he had a great tournament. I think from when the Sacrifice games played on Thursday happened, I was seeing how well he was playing Slash. I was like, okay, this could be quite interesting moving into Duel. And he just looked better prepared with the game almost than Rafidor, just more comfortable with the Duel. I'm not sure how far I can go in analyzing that because it is very hard to tell. But I think it's safe to say that Dahang had a really, really good tournament, and he should be very happy.
Yeah, and I think both of them will just get much better. Because right now, they 1 month ago, they were playing Overwatch. They just stopped playing Overwatch, got back into Quake from not having been played Quake at all in the last year. And they did well. They didn't do that bad. I mean, they did bad comparison if you compare them to when they were active, but they haven't been active at all. They started being active 1 month ago, started playing, they got to QuakeCon, top 8, top 16. They're doing just fine. Definitely. And for DreamHack Winter, we'll definitely need to be a bit more scared of them.
100%. Diogo asking, how was the venue compared to the Hilton Atoll? I preferred it. I thought it was a lot better. I just preferred the layout of it all from purely attendee point of view. It was just like nicer quality actually, just on everything.
How was the pool?
I didn't actually go in the pool at all. Oh. That's the one thing that happened, because usually on Sunday, that's like a chill day. And that's the one thing that the Hilton Atoll was just more convenient for, that there was like a bar at the pool and people are more into like the chilling point. But after the tournament, and after the Saturday night and people talking to everyone and hanging out and having some drinks, by Sunday, a lot of people, I think there was so much like stress and more further built up tensions from the event due to the scale, I think, in some respects, and the amount that people had emotionally invested in it, that people were already like just absolutely ready to leave at that point. And they were quite happy to continue their travels and get home and rest, because it was, come Sunday, everyone was exhausted. But yeah, people went in the pool, cooler and strengths, burnt themselves before the tournament even started. But yeah, there was also another pool like up the road that had lots of slides and things. Did I even get wasted once? I had some drinks on Saturday night, but I didn't drink really maybe more than a beer on any other night. But I was so tired. I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday morning. And by 2:30 a.m. Sunday, I was like, I'm going to bed right now. I was just absolutely destroyed. But it was it felt really good for me talking to a lot of people, and now that I've been to quite a few QuakeCons, I've hung around at a lot of events. I think people realize that they can't get rid of me so easily, and it's been really nice talking to a lot of the older pros and things like that. It was I felt a continuous increase in how welcoming everyone is in the community. And then how enjoyable it was to see all the newer faces that we weren't used to seeing, like the Victals. I think like a Dewey, like a Razy, and more and more and more. How fixed were the turns for casters? They were pretty fixed. There was like a rota a couple of days before, and they usually made things at least a day in advance. Did I notice how well people did? I didn't get to see enough chat. I tried to put chat on for some moments, but I didn't get to see much of it. Was there a post-QuakeCon interview for either Rafa or Dahang? I'm not sure, I'm afraid. I wasn't a lightweight, Hal. Come on. I was just tired. Been doing so much work. Should have casted Finals of DK. Well, they had their own pairing, and I'm happy that I could do the analyst stuff because it gave me something to prepare for, and it was different work for me. It did feel weird not doing a finals because I think I'd done every dual final since 2013 at QuakeCon. But
who did the finals? I don't remember.
This is ZSX and DDK.
Oh right, and who did the sacrifice finals?
Ketchup and mustard. And
poor Zoo.
No, I was fine with the work. I got to do some really sick semis and stuff like that. So absolutely happy lamb. Which player's company did I enjoy the most? I can't put favorites on that. To be honest, there's so many people I enjoyed spending time with. I enjoyed a lot the 2Z guys because I never really get to hang out with them. It was the first time I'd spoken to Claus. Silencept seemed to open up a lot more as well. He's usually really kind of introverted and softly spoken, but he opened up a lot. Latromi, I hadn't spoken to him that much before. I'd met him at Prague TDM LAN and maybe a couple of other places here and there. But yeah, I really got chatting with him as well. Zron, I chat to him loads online, and it was great to meet him in person. Spoke to Claus's uncle as well. Obviously, the Maestro guys, I love hanging out with them. I find Garpy just hilarious, to be honest. I find him, I don't know, there's just something about him. He's just a cheeky chap. Hell's a bit of a bell end, but once you get used to him, he's all right. Yeah, I know you're there, Hell. I actually really enjoyed hanging out with Noctis. I hadn't spoken to him that much before, but it was really cool chatting with him. It was interesting speaking to Tox, actually, because he was doing a lot of... I was asking him some questions about the game, and he was doing lots of interesting points of analysis where I was like, damn, I wish I could make those observations in-game when I'm watching a match and be able to put that into my analysis, because you don't hear it till a long time after the games. You're like, damn, there's some absolute gems there. Talking about how Razy with Sorlag likes to play on the upper rail curve, to wait for people there, generally. Whereas Cooler plays down at the bottom by the armor, where it's a lot more closed off and harder to rail at. And he went into a lot more detail about how difficult it can be to approach players in certain parts of the map, and how these players are making conscious decisions to do these things. I'm like, when I'm playing, I do things a lot out of feel. I do something because it feels right. I don't do something because I have this conscience.
That happens because you don't think while
analysis. Playing. I think a bit, but I think based on... I think
that's the difference.
I think based on item, stack, feel, things like that. But then when I'm hearing Tox talk about it, I was like, okay. Well, it was actually like inspiring in some sense, because it really, really helped me put things into perspective. So I definitely appreciate that from him. Actually, hanging out with DDK and ZSX a lot was awesome, to be fair.
Do you know what is DDK going to do now?
He's got like E-League stuff or something to do. He's got a lot of CS things. I'm not sure.
He's going back to CS. He's going to betray us again.
Well, he's making money, so I don't think he cares.
I was nice to see him casting some Quake again.
Yeah, it was nice. I hope we get him around again. you know what? It's coming up to 9 o'clock. We've been doing like an hour and a half little show here. Good. Spold, got to run. Great job with the coverage. Cheers, man. Quick one got me more excited about the game. Bloody glad, Spold. Hope we'll see you a bit more in the futures.
We need a sauna in Quake.
Pardon?
We need a sauna in Quake Champions for Spold to hang
around. So yeah, any last questions? I'll call it in a couple of minutes, and then I'll round up the show. Or anything you want to bring up at all.
Oh, I don't even know anymore. You brought up a lot already.
Dagger1331. Do you feel Tossbot dragged your casting down? Actually, I think he helped me a lot. One thing that Tossbot does really well is manipulate the pacing of the commentary with his co-commentator. And he actually made me realize that I think that I still spoke a bit too fast, even in times where there weren't a lot of things going on. And it kind of helped me kind of juggle that rhythm a bit better between something that's happening really exciting and building up to that point, and then actually what the tempo should be when things aren't as exciting. And I learned a lot casting with him, and even though I haven't casted with him in maybe 4 years or so, I thought it was really fun. And he's someone I really hope at some point I can have that kind of level of composure and professionalism in the way I'm covering things, and just the way that he can say funny things with the confidence and comfort and trust behind him that he can pull things off. And I enjoyed that, and I hope that actually Tossbot will come to some more Quake events. I think that would be a lot of fun. One important thing, they did a bad job at announcing when streams are the next day. After 8 hours or more streaming, they finished the day off of see you tomorrow, not when, not even where. I see. Actually, that brings me a point of criticism or feedback as well. I hope that we get to see more information live about group updates, playoff updates, matches, and things like that. I'd love to see at next QuakeCon maybe like a dedicated website that has everything on it, like you might see on a TI or a major, something like that. I think that would be
Me and the guys from Team Liquid were going insane trying to like spam every single admin.
Do you mean Wikipedia?
Yeah, the guys from Wikipedia to try and get the results. They were doing a really good job, Razarza, and I don't remember the guy who's running the Twitter for Ninja Gumby. That's the name. They were the ones getting all the updates from there.
Yeah, no, it was good that we could get some results across. But yeah, I think, excuse me, I think that is all. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to be streaming a lot more in the future. I might do a little calm stream tomorrow. We'll be streaming on Sunday for sure. And I'll probably have a very interesting announcement in the coming week or so.
Oh God.
So yeah,
it's finally coming out of the closet.
Oh my God. Yeah. Any last words from you before I close down?
No. That was it. I think I said everything. Congrats to 2 seconds.